Joining us here in studio, Brice Turang of the Milwaukee Brewers, good enough to join us as they set to begin a series tonight at Queens against the New York Mets. Brice, how you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You got a nice little montage there. We don't just roll out the montage for everyone there. Hey, what is it about the Milwaukee Brewers that people, the national landscape, baseball pundits, etc., miss and don't know about the Milwaukee Brewers? You guys won the division by double digits last year, but yet you weren't the pick for a lot of people to win this division. But here you are fighting again in playoff contention. You got the second playoff spot. So what is it about the Milwaukee Brewers organization that we aren't hitting on? Man,
we're just so close. Like we all kind of played together through the minor leagues at some level, like the younger guys did, and then our vets just took us in. They've been really good to us and kind of let us play our game. And then we play extremely hard. You know, we're stealing bases, we're bunting guys over, and putting pressure on teams to make outs or make good pitches, or just the fact that we got guys who can run from every bit of our lineup. Maybe we get a little more fastballs or whatever, you know? So it just seems like we just play so hard. We all get along with each other, and just the style of play that we play.
I want to bounce off of what you're talking about, because it does stand out. It's very clear, even when covering you guys in spring training, the expectations from the outside are never as high as it seems of what Pat Murphy is trying to instill in you guys. What is the message that Pat Murphy keeps in from spring training throughout the season as far as what our identity is and what is our strategy to win ball games?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is he wants each individual person to do their part, play their game, their style of game, and playing hard all the time, trying to win today is a big thing. You know, winning every pitch, it matters because you never know.
Yeah.
You know, if you win every pitch, eventually it adds up and you're winning games. So that was the big thing, is win tonight. You know, you can work on your swing, all that before the game, but when the game starts, we're competing. We're trying to win the game tonight. So.
Right, so you talk about being close, right? So chemistry does matter, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Who said it? Because all the analytics said, whatever, don't talk about chemistry yet. You've touched on that already a couple of times in a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's key.
Hey, this is going to be the first time that you guys have played the Mets since that fantastic wildcard series last year. Now that you had some time to digest, what did you recall? What comes to mind when you think about that series last year with the Mets?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun series. Obviously, didn't end the way we wanted it to end. But, you know, the situation that everyone likes to say it ended in, I mean, I would have him out there. I would have Devin out there again. Mm-hmm. You know, I would put him in that situation again. There was so much trust with Devin, and that's part of the game. It's part of baseball. It has nothing to do with the pitch or who is pitching or who is hitting. Like, that's just part of the game. So it was a good series. Obviously didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I don't know. It's just, that's baseball. Yeah. You know, you're going to lose games, and you're going to strike out. You're going to make errors. You're going to give up runs. Like, that's just part of the game. And I mean, that's what happened.
I'm going to put you in the hot seat a little bit later, but for the time being, these guys are going to take good care of you. You're going to talk base running, defense, hitting. So take it away.
Yeah, you got to ask them about some Brendan Woodruff or some Mizorowski.
Yes, we will get to that.
I mean, we could sit here for an hour talking about the team in Milwaukee, but right here, we're going to lock in on you. We're going to lock in on what you've done, how much you've grown as a player, because what I love about your progression to where you are now is you see a guy play the first couple years and you think you know what type of player he's going to be moving forward. You know, he's going to steal bases. He's going to play you great defense. You know, he'll be in the, 250 top hitter, maybe not too much stump, but a quality big league player. That player right there is a 10-year in the league ball player, 10-year, 15 years in the league. But your ability to be able to make adjustments and continue to grow as a player without losing your weaknesses I think is the most impressive thing to me. So me and Carlos, we want to kind of do a combo on you and lock in. We're gonna go through defense.
Oof.
We're gonna go through base running, and then we'll get into the really fun part, which is swinging the bat and the adjustments that you made. But we saw the highlight coming in, Platinum Glove Award winner. I mean, you're able to do everything. What would you say is your favorite type of play to make?
I like just getting outs, man. Getting the pitcher out of situations.
Yeah, but like for me as a center fielder, it was the ball over my head where I'm like having to break back, turn, run, the full extension. Is there a play that when you see it, you're like, okay, this is my staple. This is what I do right here.
I mean, I always like making
Let's
the
pause it.
the backhands up the middle, where you're running away from the bag, throwing across your body. I think those are always cool. The ones running in where you're going full speed and you gotta throw it from underneath. You can't get over the top.
Which one was the one that you like practiced a lot when you were a kid? You know, the one you're like, let's do this, let's do it again, let's do it again.
When I was a kid, man, I practiced all of it, but I was like going between the legs and like messing around
Playing
all the
with it.
time. Yeah, I was doing
Those are
jump
trick
throws
plays.
between the legs, like stuff like that, man. I was having fun with it, and but yeah, I think obviously the routine out is very important, and then what kind of pushes you over the top are the ones that you're making that people don't make.
And this is what puts you over the top right here. We're going back, start of 2024, defensive rub save leaders, and you're right there at the top of the list, man. What is your day-to-day process of getting ready to play defense in the big leagues before the day?
Yeah, so kind of like I just talked about, I take my routine ground balls, we have team defense, and then when we go into BP, I ask our third base coach, Jason Lane, to hit me balls. I'm like, dude, hit me balls, challenge me to my backhand, my forehand, like I want to make these plays, make the throws. That way in the game, I'm doing it, I've already done it. So I can understand that, I know what angles or whatever to throw from. So stuff like that, during batting practice is like the most important time for me.
I heard this about you, and tell me if this is true, about defense. It's like you practice, and this is a common theme, you practice harder than you play. Would you say that is correct? Like you challenge yourself a lot in practice.
I try to make it as game-like as I possibly can. Obviously, I'm gonna play what I would think is as hard as I can, but I do practice that part of my practice, and even taking normal ground balls is like, I'm taking this to the best that I can. I'm trying to make it as realistic as I can, because I think that's the most important thing. Instead of doing all these drills, I think the most important thing.
That's what I mean, because that's you know.
Hold on, we got to get into some. Let's get into some base running now. I mean, 50 bags last year. We want to let everybody know that this is the complete player. We've seen the Platinum Glove defense. 50 bags last year. When you're taking your lead, everybody is different from their first steps. Are you a false step? Take a step back? How do you think of flowing into your transition to trying to steal a base?
I work with a guy at home, and we don't do the false step, but it's so natural because it's a reaction.
So if you could show them what the false step is, right here.
Yeah. So basically, you would take a drop step to get your foot underneath your hip. That's like what it would be.
And Carl Crawford was a guy I always paid attention to, because people would think that you ideally want to lean and kind of fall into it so you're not wasting space, but majority of good base runners, even like the Ricky Hendersons of the world, it's all, you're here. I have a bat in my hand, so I want to have a bat
you want to swing.
Yeah, but you're here and you're doing this false step to get yourself up under you.
Yeah, I don't intend to do that.
Right.
I actually don't. I try not to do that. I want to just be able to explode out of it. But sometimes people do it because their foot gets underneath their hip. That's like the big thing in running, is getting your foot back underneath you. And so like I said, you're reacting on a pitcher, you're trying to steal a base. So like sometimes guys just natural reaction, their front foot kind of picks up and drops back. And mine does, but that's not my intention to do. Like I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, we're gonna get to hitting, right?
Well, check this out.
We could see this. Look at this power and
speed
combination.
90 bags, 70 extra base hits since the start of 2023. This is the list of players that are the total package as far as like when you're thinking about guys you want to put on your team. You want guys, especially in the age of shifts are gone, athletes are back on the field, especially middle infielders. If you can do both of these, you're bringing a lot of value to your squad.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like watching you swing the bat. I mean, I really love your stroke. So smooth, right? And you also got power that people didn't know you had. I mean, I'd be like, oh, he's going to be a contact hitter. Wait a second, he's got some placata in him, and you hit the ball really well the other way with power. You drive it to left center field, and it's a very smooth, effortless delivery of the barrel. And I want to talk to you about that because this is something. Look how smooth that is. It's almost like it's just a rhythmic swing. There's no force in it. It's just smooth, but a lot of output. Can you talk a little bit about what are you working on here?
Yeah, so, I mean, as a kid, when I would go hit with my dad, I was always middle of the field, hit the ball back up the middle. Like he never really talked mechanics when I was younger. It was hit the ball hard back up the middle of the field, and your body will naturally make the adjustments to figure out how to do that at a young age. And then obviously as I got older, then you start talking a little bit more because you can understand how your body feels and moves and stuff like that. But I mean, my main focus here is just,
Go ahead and play it.
Hitting the ball back up the middle for me is such a...
Standing up on that.
Yeah.
Go the other way.
Yeah, that's natural.
Go the other way beautifully.
Yeah, just driving the ball back up the middle of the field is like what I'm trying to do. I've always had like the sneaky pop that people would always talk about. I always knew I can hit balls hard. It was just...
Yeah, run this back for me right here for me, because what stands out to me, and even looking into the metrics, you're a guy who's always focused on hitting the ball the other way. And normally when you see the list of players who are contact-oriented guys, Luis Arises of the world, you're accepting that I've tried the other route of being a power pull guy, and that didn't work for me. So I need to understand who I am as a player, and I need to not force the ball, but hit the ball the other way. What makes you stand out to me, and I don't know if we have the board to represent it, you're able to keep that same approach, but over the offseason, able to increase your bat speed by a few miles per hour. And that's one of the more impressive things that I've seen. What are the exact exercises that you're doing for anybody at home who's watching? What are the exercises that you do to increase bat speed?
Going to the gym.
Yeah.
It's literally that, just straightforward?
I mean, like, I was always a hitter who my arms would kind of get away from me. I'd be pretty close to barring out. And then I just kind of accepted that. I was always trying to fix it. I was always trying to be like super tight. And it was like, I would go back there anyway. So I kind of accepted that. My bat path kind of cleaned up a little bit. I was in the gym all the time. I've gotten bigger over the past couple years. I've gotten older. Just your natural strength is starting to pick up. Stuff like that. I don't really think much about it because it's a slippery slope for me. When I start really diving down into like mechanics of everything, then I mean you can take my best swing and I could find something in there that's wrong or what I don't like. Yeah. So it's like there's a very slippery slope when you start trying to tap into all that stuff.
Pretty clean to us.
No, seriously. I was genuinely curious because there's so many guys at home who are trying to just get bigger and get stronger and assuming that that's going to always translate, because for me, like just gaining weight didn't necessarily translate to bat speed. So you sharing that with us is so good for everybody at home. So Roflo, the main thing you need to take from this is that I think you just need to get into the gym.
Get in the gym, Roflo.
Improve your bat speed, Roflo.